welcome to this first tutorial for Mission Management Suite, a mission planning software as a service tool being developed by Small Spark Space Systems. I'm Matt Jaffa, the product manager, and today I'm going to show you how to add a spacecraft to the workspace and how to propagate it. Okay, let's get into the tool. So when you first open MMS, you'll be greeted by this wonderful render of Earth. Alongside this, we've worked really hard on the UI to make it really clean, not so cluttered, just to really contain the features that you really want. Okay, so let's create our first spacecraft. So what we're going to do is going to navigate to the left, hit this spacecraft icon, and you'll see a little pop-up showing that's been added. So the assets and the sequence are stored on the right-hand side of the tool, so you can see it over here under spacecraft. So what we're going to do is we're going to right-click, rename it, just change this to SLV. This is just a good bit of housekeeping, helps you track the spacecraft as you're propagating it. Okay, great. So now, at this point, you can either enter the Cartesian elements of your spacecraft, or you can choose to select Keplerian elements. For demos and just for initial spacecraft modeling, I like to choose Keplerian, it's just a lot easier visually. So I'm going to change the semi-major axis 7,500 kilometers. And as you can see, what happens here is that the spacecraft propagates to its initial point. So let's change the eccentricity to 0, just get a really circular orbit, it's easy to visualize. And what we're going to do is we can now choose the other Keplerian elements, and what we can do is we can hold left click and we can drag left to right, and it will change those elements and update that in real time. So as you can see, the spacecraft changes its position and it shows where it's starting above the Earth. We can also change the orbit color, and this is just really useful when you're propagating multiple spacecraft. So let's choose a purple for now. Okay, great. So now our spacecraft set up, and the next thing we need to do is propagate it. So what we're going to do is going to move back over to the left hand side. Click this little propagate function button here, and another pop-up will show up showing that the propagate sequence has been added. So move back over to the sequence on the right hand side, now we can see this new propagate function. So again, we're just going to rename this for a good bit of housekeeping, change this to initial orbits, and we're going to propagate it for 2 hours, so let's just note it here. Okay, great, so you can see the title is updated here showing that change. What we need to do now is we need to link this propagate function to a spacecraft. So let's link this to SLV, as it's the only spacecraft present in the workspace. And then what we can do is we can choose between a duration or an orbital point for the stopping condition. So let's choose a duration, change this to hours, and let's change the length to 2. Okay, great. So we've set up our mission. Now we have to do is hit the Run Mission button. MMS will now do all the hard work and propagate this sequence for you. So after a few moments, you'll see that the mission timeline will be populated below, reflecting the duration of the mission that we selected and for the spacecraft we selected. Okay, great. Now what we need to do is hit play, and this propagation sequence will begin. So here you go. As you can see, our spacecraft is propagating in the orbit that we initially selected. So this is just a first glance into the capabilities of MMS. If you'd like to know more, please keep an eye on our socials and our YouTube channel, where we'll be posting future tutorials on features such as contact location, impulsive burn modeling, and further use of the mission timeline. Thanks for your time, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.